Okay, these are how the international terrorism is affecting in general. I don't want to go into the details, but that will take a lot of time, affecting the human security. What is to be done? So we know what are the factors which are affecting, but what is to be done to deal with the factors which are affecting human security? Number one, the policy makers and the security professionals need to have encompass clear strategy of de-radicalization programs, and this kind of de-radicalization program, that is what is going to affect India and other Southeastern countries. These de-radicalization programs have to be aimed at individuals, at families, institutions like education institutions like schools, colleges and universities, and also religious institutions. For a country like ours, border controls, both land and sea, deserves very serious attention. If you take all the previous attacks in India, all the major attacks in India, either attack on the parliament in Delhi, or for that matter 2008 attacks in Mumbai, or for that matter the recent one, the Pathankot attacks on the air base, they all indicate the vulnerability of our borders, and the need to have a strengthening of the border controls. There should be a judicious mix of latest surveillance and detection systems to support the human effort in watching the border. Unfortunately, in our country, the way we think about human security is not the same way we act. We think with all seriousness, we think with all sincerity when we have to do a certain actions to deal with the factors of human security. But when the time of implementation comes in, the seriousness will get slackened or sometimes even disappear. So what is required? A well laid out strategy which can combine a mix of technology with the human efforts. Why is it happening? Maybe because our security systems, our security strategies are mainly manpower focused, manpower centric. Our dependency is mainly on the human intelligence and less on the technical intelligence. Nowadays, terrorists are relying more and more on the latest technologies and exploring cyberspace and social media for their propaganda, for their recruitment, for their training, and for their fundraising. In this connection, I would like to recall one of my personal experience in Syria, how the cyberspace can really help in getting the proper intelligence. About 2 years back, I was posted as Chief Security Advisor in Syria. At that time, the Islamic State was there in a very embryonic stage. It's in a very formative stage. They haven't even consolidated in Raqqa. So our task was we are supposed to get what is the total strength of the Islamic State operating in the northeastern portion of Syria. So there is no way to go there because the area is affected by number of armed groups fighting each other, and it's a no-go area for the UN personnel. So then the British intelligence officers went on the web and they took out all the jihadi notifications for the last few years, and they came out with a approximate figure about 1500 or the strength which is operating northeastern portion of Syria. And from by studying the trend, they could say that for the last few months the number is increasing, is multiplying geographical proportion in fact, and if it is not arrested, if it is not controlled, if it is not taken care of, it can assume a very serious proportions. This kind of intelligence we could get it by sitting in Damascus, by monitoring the web jihadi notices. Last year, if you notice, there is a lot of uproar that the international terrorists are using social media to the fullest extent. So some of the companies, some of the agencies from US as well as Western countries, they gone into action and they could detect something like 12,000 Twitter accounts operated by the jihadis who are affiliated to Islamic State. Not only the number of accounts, but final analysis also revealed what type of language they are using. Are they using English? Are they using French? Are they using Arabic? So with this, they could come up. This many people can be from this area, this can be people can be from this area. Like that, the entire intelligence could be collected by just monitoring the cyberspace and by monitoring the Twitter accounts. In order to match the skills of terrorists, the security forces need to improve their own technical skills. We should not be complacent with what we have and what we are doing. Rather, we should focus on what should be done in future to tackle the terrorism. Then only we will be able to ensure the human security. Otherwise, it will only lead to human insecurity. For this, what is required is a new security culture which has to be adopted by policymakers and security professionals and also other stakeholders. How does this security culture come in? The culture comes out of the beliefs. How does the belief comes in? The beliefs comes out of the attitude. How do we develop the attitude? Attitude can be developed by this kind of sessions, and this kind of awareness can be brought into the minds of security officials, policymakers, and other stakeholders. Perhaps exposing police officers, exposing policymakers and security professionals to a technical exhibitions like the one we see outside this room will also help a lot in bringing a change in their attitude and their perception. Thank you very much for your patience and your time. I think this is all what I wanted to share, and I think my next speaker, Dr. Malakondaya, who is my friend, and also I have tremendous respect for his professionalism. I think he is going to cover some of the aspects on the national security. Thank you.